All right, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy CEO with Sean. I just want to do a quick watch list showing you guys basically how to scan the market. Just scanning everything for this week coming up. I've been using the Strat Scanner. Shout out to Alex and them over at Stat Trading. This platform is pretty powerful. But I do want to show everybody basically how to just scan the market just based on what everything is happening right now. One thing I will use is just showing what everything is looking like on the weekly time frame. So S&P 500, majority of the S&P 500 is two up 75%, NASDAQ 76%. The strongest sectors right now is basic materials, industrials, consumer cyclicals, financials, consumer non-cyclicals, healthcare, and then technology. We're going to take a look at what those look like on the chart real quick. And I just have the sectors already up. So I'm just going to run through the indices and I'm going to run through all the sectors. And then we're going to look at the strongest stocks that I'm particularly going to look at and then show you guys how to do the same. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is look at SPY. So right now, SPY on the week is a 3-2 expansion to the upside, right? New candle is going to open up, potentially go two up, or potentially reverse this and come back into the broad information. So we're going to see whether we come back in or whether we go to the upside and keep expanding this going into the new week. QQQ, same thing. DIA, Dow Jones Industrials, same thing as well. 3-2 expansion, we do have some more targets to hit. We already hit those targets already. So we still have a couple more targets to hit before they reach all-time highs. So I'm probably going to be looking to trade the Dow Jones stocks. IWM, small businesses, we're still coming back through that broad information, still have some targets to reach as well for them. So we're going to see what they do. So everything is pretty strong right now. For XLK, XLF, this consumer discretionary, XLY, XLP, we're kind of stuck in the middle of the broad information a little bit. Consumer services, as you can see, we are pretty much filling out that broad information already. So just drawing this out, we had the previous high, higher high, lower low. Now we've reached this higher high point. So now we're previously we were two up in red on the previous week. So we might have a 3-2 reversal to come back through the previous range or potentially to expand it even higher. So we're just going to see what that does. And then materials was also really strong, still stuck inside the bigger broad information overall. So we're going to see what that does going into this new week. We're going to see what that does. We're coming back through that range, though. We did take out some of these previous highs. We still got a couple more highs to go before we reach all-time highs on materials. But we could potentially go two up this week and keep pushing that to the upside. But my focus is going to be XLK, XLF, consumer discretionary as well to come back through this, like to keep expanding this broad information to go take out the previous high. XLC also to see if we come back through or keep expanding it, and then staples to see if we also get out of that as well. We're currently inside bar on the month, double inside bar, so we need to break that before we get out of that. So that's what I'm looking at. So if I look at some of the stocks, we're gonna go top down real quick. Let's go XLK. Most of the stocks are looking pretty good. So if we go to the weekly time frame, Apple is two up. It's kind of just been playing around a little bit. Microsoft has been going good, 3-2 expansion to the upside. Nvidia, same thing. AVGO, same thing. CRM, a little bit inside. Oracle expanding like crazy to the upside. Two up on Cisco, ACN. All these are doing pretty good. So, well, all these that are two up on the week, I want to see how they open up to see if we can get something on the daily time frame, potentially some type of pullback. So we were previously rallying. We had a 2-2 reversal followed by the 1-2 rev strat back to the upside. I want to look for those going into this week. We also had the 3-2 reversal right here on Nvidia last week as well, or the week prior, a couple weeks prior, where we reversed back to the upside. I want to see if we were able to do that. AVGO 2-2 reversal. I want to see if we can go two up. A lot of these are going to be some day trades and stuff like that until we start getting some pullbacks or short-term swings. So that's what we're going to be looking for. The main ones that I saw that I did like. So if you see consumer discretionary, for example, we are still inside that broad information coming back through it. So I want to see, okay, bet going into this week, can we get something that's two up to expand this thing even higher? Or are we going to reverse back to the broad information? If we reverse back, fine. But if we go two up, what am I looking for consumer discretionaries, right? So first we got Amazon 3-2 expansion to the upside. Potential reversal on Amazon. That's interesting. I want to see what we're going to do with that. We didn't break this high. I think we did. Yep, we slightly broke that high. reversal to the downside. So this is the broad information on Tesla. Currently in the middle of that. However, we could potentially get a reversal this week, going back to the upside, potentially on Tesla. So that might be interesting to see. But we are still stuck inside that range, so I'm going to be a little hesitant. Weekly time frame, 2 up on Home Depot, but still kind of stuck inside. McDonald's kind of stuck inside. Coming back through the previous broad information. Let's see if we can keep going. Lowe's, same thing. Kind of stuck inside the broad information a little bit. Nike potentially could go 2 up, but not really nothing. TJ Maxx is looking pretty nicely, though. We have this broad information right here. Let's see if we can 3-2 expansion, like keep going 2 up again. Stop out all these guys. Stop out these guys at least and see if we can get back up here for 128, 129. Calls, I want to see some type of pullback or something. We have a 2-on-2 continuation. I want to see some type of pullback first because we are currently at the top of the broad information on the daily time frame. So I want to see some type of pullback first potentially, and then reverse back to the upside, or potentially just come back through and stop out all these guys right here. So I want to see that. So one thing I did like was consumer. I think it was consumer staples, I believe, or it was energy. It was one of these I was checking. So consumer staples was pretty good. Financials were pretty good as well, going to the upside. So let's check financials real quick. Remember, financials, if we go back, XLF, we are 3-2 expansion to the upside. So I want to see either if we can keep going 2 up and keep pushing this to the upside. So let's see which ones are strong and which ones are kind of inside. Berkshire's kind of just been kind of getting kicked a little bit, not going to lie. JP Morgan, 2 up already, so nothing really on JP Morgan. We got to see some type of pullback first. Visa, 2-on-2 reversal. This is good. We're coming back through this. One of the weaker ones, but still kind of strong right now. 2-on-2 reversal back to the upside. If we get that 2 up on the weekly time frame, we could go and reach that. So I want to see what we do with that on Visa. We had the 2-2 reversal as well, so potentially some type of reversal, or maybe go inside bar to continuation to the upside would be a great setup. MasterCard 2-on-2 continuation to the upside as well. Also doing the 2-on-2 reversal, so same thing as Visa. It's currently top of the broad information for Bank of America, so that's still expanding. That's still expanding. That's still good. Goldman Sachs still good. Black still good. Morgan Stanley still good to the upside. Good. Gotta wait for some type of pullback. So you see right here we had the 2-1-2 reversal to the downside, followed by the 1-2 ref share back to the upside. Playing those setups, those short-term swings are going to be the move. Same thing probably on American Express, Procter & Gamble. Still a little lower, not being rewarded. Citi is doing pretty good as well. Want to see some type of pullback on some of these. This potentially could reverse back through the previous range, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. 3-2 expansion, potentially back to the upside. Schwab, doing pretty good. CME also up there too, but I want to see if we can get a 2 up and come back through this like big candle. It's kind of struggling to get back through that previous candle. So we're going to see what that does. Next thing we're going to check. We already checked financials. We already checked tech. Consumer discretionary. See if we can come back through that. I think we checked that already as well for consumer discretionary. Lulu might be pretty good. We have a 2-2 reversal. Still coming back through that. Big broad information we're coming back through as well. So let's see if we can come back through that. Keep going back in force in the week to come back to 347, the 340, 320 area. See what we do there. 3-2 expansion on GM, which is pretty good. 3-2 expansion on TJX, potentially to keep going to the upside. Airbnb also still stuck in that range a little bit, but still trying to get back through that. So we're going to see about that. Consumer services, remember I showed y'all already, consumer services, XOC. We are 2 up in red, so potentially we're going to see if we can either reverse or come back through that range for XLC. So Meta currently 2 up in red, so we might get some down movement potentially. But if this opens up green on Meta, then I'm going to look for potentially some type of bullish setups to go back to the upside to keep expanding it to the all-time highs, because that's a $30 move potentially. That's going to be nice. Google, Two up in red, but hammer. So we could actually break that to the upside and go hammer. So that would actually be good. Two to reversal, as you can see. We might finish off that broad information and keep going higher. So keep a lookout for that. Netflix, two to reversal to the upside. Let's see if we can follow through. Going into the new week, T-Mobile, still coming back to that broad information, but still good if we go two up. Comcast, still coming back to that previous broad information. So we got to wait on that a little bit. Verizon, two into reversal back to the upside. Still stuck in this range though, so still not doing anything pretty much. Not really doing anything. Expansion to the upside, pulling back a little bit. A little good. Still up there, kind of chopping a little bit, grinding its way. So not really tripping about that. Okay, cool. But yeah, so most of these are going to be short swings and just intraday setups potentially. So we're going to see what happens Monday. Wednesday, we do have some high impact news that's going to affect the market. So we're going to see what that does and how that affects everything. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that though. One thing I do like for materials, you see right here, materials, we are the 2-2 reversal for the week worked, knocked out all these pivots. So I want to see if we can keep expanding to the upside and hit that target going into this new week. If we stay green, stay up there, then some of the stocks that I want to look at for XLB for materials, LIN 2-2 reversal on the week, setting up for a 2-2 reversal on the daily time frame. So if we break that to the upside, that'll be a trigger on the day, targeting 478. So about a $1 move. But then we also have some more people to stop out, so you get this thing out for a little longer. As long as that thing stays green, you can keep holding that thing. So that's a 2-2 reversal on LIN. I think that's Sherwin-Williams, I believe. SHW. Double inside bar. So weekly time frame, still 2 up. I want to see if we can break that to the upside and trigger the weekly with the daily double inside bar. That would actually be really good. A lot of consolidation. If we break that to the upside, that's a nice $4 move to the upside. I'm keeping that on my watch list and keeping my eye on that. So LIN, Schwab. Make sure I add that to my list of ones that I'm checking out. Potential setups. Oh, right, I gotta add it. Schwab, LIN look pretty good as well. I'm also going to add Meta to there for like day trading specifically. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. But let's go back to it. Let's see what else we got. APD, still expanding that thing to the upside. Daily still green as well. Potentially might get some type of pullback reversal back to the upside. So that might be good potentially. Inside bar on the daily time frame. Weekly is enforced to the upside. 3-2 expansion. So usually when we get a 3-2, that thing expands. So we have a 3-2-2. You know what I'm saying? That thing goes down, right? Usually. 3-2. And then we started going 2, inside bar 2. Those 3-2s usually work. We have a 3, 2 up, 2 up. So those 3s usually expand. So if this thing keeps expanding to the upside and materials keeps going to the upside, that'll be good. Look for price to take out that previous weekly high and keep going in force. Knock out all these pivots. Daily time frame, inside bar continuation. Good just ready to take. Again, short-term swing. So I'm also going to add that as well. FX, FCX. Sure, add that. FCX. All right. Check ECL. 2-1-2 continuation already. NUE. Potentially going to be a 2-2 reversal to the downside, followed by a 2-2 reversal back to the upside, potentially, if we keep continuing. Failed 2 up. 2 up in green, but not really anything actionable. CTV, nothing. DD, nothing. MLM, inside bar. So that potentially could go back to the upside. We have a broad information also to trade back through. So we have the broad information. Potentially could expand this to go take out this high and expand the broad information even bigger. So we want to look for that. Still in the big range, but again, the ATR is pretty high on MLM. Daily time frame, as you can see, inside bar to the upside, potentially to trigger the 2 up on the week. So let's see what we do there. Once that works, that needs to keep going. Otherwise, we're probably going to get stopped Like this thing needs to, it's probably going to get chopped up, and we might come back through the broad information before we go back to the upside, because how are we going to stop out this guy right here? Let's push that thing to the downside. So keep an eye on that. I'm still going to add it to the list, but I'm going to be very cognizant of it. So be very cognizant of it. The MIC, 212 continuation already. OIB, inside bar, potential reversal to the upside. Weekly time frame is green. This thing did sell off really badly though, and it is kind of inside the broad information at the bottom. So we could potentially keep working on that. This is just a big range to come back through. You know what I'm saying? Big range to come back through. Still been chopping around that, so I'm not really looking into that. I think that's going to be pretty much it. Expanding that thing already on the weekly time frame for ball. Most of these are pretty good though for materials. So look at the other strong sectors, staples. Again, I need this thing to break out of that first. Materials, we already went over that. Industrials, I want to check that out as well. That is also at the top of the broad information. So check XLI. So daily time frame failed too, so no bullish actual signal yet. Inside bar, General Electric. This is a pretty good one right here. I'm not mad at this. Broad information, drawing out like this. Still stuck in the middle, but if we get a 2 into reversal, come back through that previous range, that might be good. However, we are still a red inside bar on the month and on the weekly time frames, so we're gonna have to break that going into this week. So what I'm gonna do is mark that out and still add that to my watch list as a weekly setup potentially, because I want to see what we do. We might take out that previous low, come back through the range, or we just might reverse and just sell off. So I want to pay attention to that. So I'm going to add General Electric to that list. For inside bar, actually I'll put that under inside bar setup. Double inside on the day, week, and month. So I want to see what we could do going into the new week, potentially with the reversal. So I'm just going to pay attention to that. Uber, we are currently 2 up in green on Uber, still good. Honda is definitely still good. RTX, 2 into reversal to the upside. That is still good, potentially. No necessarily actual signal. 2 inside bar right here, though. Month is inside. It's still inside on the month, so that might be a problem. Quarter, we are also inside as well, but we have a 3. That thing is expanding, so if we go 3 to expansion, that thing can really take off to the upside. So I'm going to be mindful of that. RTX, actually, and I'm going to make sure I add that to my list as well. For price to go and take out that previous trigger on the week and trigger on the monthly. Well, monthly time frame is already active, so the next trigger on the month would just be to go 2 up on the month. So I'm going to be paying attention to that. Already working in force already for the 2 into reversal on the daily, so I'm just going to make sure I add that. RTX. Make sure I add that. That's the inside bar setup. Yeah, inside bar setup. Yep. Boeing, 3 into reversal, 2 up. So that's still in force, coming back through that broad information. Beautiful. 1 to 2 rev strat worked so far. We're still expanding that thing back to the upside. Potentially might get an inside bar continuation to the upside. I want to see about that going into Monday. Daily time frame UPS. Filled 2 up, so nothing crazy right now. Bottom of this broad information, expanded this a little bit more. And just a little bit more. We're coming back through the broad information, no actual signal though, so we're going to be paying attention to that as well. Lockheed Martin inside bar, but also inside this big range, inside on the week, inside on the month, inside on the corner, inside on the year as well. So inside all around. So staying away from Lockheed Martin until we can start breaking some ranges. ADP kind of stuck in there a little bit. Well, 2 reversal to the upside, but it's already in force. I want to see if we can keep going potentially. ETN still in force and good. ITW's up to the upside. Weekly is in force to the upside as well. Beautiful broad information as well. Yeah, actually absolutely beautiful broad information. Expanding that thing to the upside, coming back through that previous range. Daily time frame is 2 into continuation, so we potentially might get something like a reversal potentially to reverse. But right now, I currently don't see anything, so I'll come back to that. Two into continuation, waste management. Two into reversal, setting up on waste management. That might be good. However, we are still two down on the thing. I think we're also inside on the corner. Yep, boom. Didn't even know. Inside on the quarter, two to reversal on the monthly as well. We are coming back through that range, so that's something that we want to know about. If the month flips green, then we're coming back through that range. Could go outside month like we did here. Took out these previous high, took out the low, boom, came back through, take out that previous high. So we could do that. So be mindful of that. Potentially could go two to reversal on the weekly time frame as well. So I'm gonna add waste management to that list for a great, for like a longer swing trade. Waste management is still pretty good, but I'm just gonna add that to my list as well. Probably gonna be one of my least favorites, but because we still didn't take out this previous low, but that's okay. I'm still gonna add it to my list. So far that's pretty good. NOC two to reversal to the upside on the daily time frame. Inside week, that's going to be interesting. Inside month, inside quarter, inside year, inside everything. So NOC is a no-go. Two up on the quarter. Two up on the year, two up on the quarter. 3 to 2 reversal. Beautiful. Monthly, 2 up. Weekly is also 2 up. Daily is also 2 up. So this is doing good. Want to see if we probably get a pullback. Triple M, setting up for a potential rev strat. Potentially, weekly is 2 up as well. Monthly is 2 up. Quarterly is 2 up, so that's not bad. Setting up for a 1 to 2 reversal to the upside. I'll add that to the list to keep expanding the broad information higher. Because currently, this is the current broad information right here. I believe we took out that previous high. But I'll just draw it out to here because that was the most recent high we took out. Current broad information looks like this. So I want to see if we can keep expanding that back to the upside. So I'm still going to add that to the list as well. Triple M, add that to the bad boy list. 2 into continuation already. 2 up in red, TT, GD, 2 up. Oh, Centaz, 2 setting up for a 2 into reversal. 3 on the week. We might get a 3-2 reversal on the weekly time frame, potentially to go back through this monthly time frame and flip continuity back green. So continuity flips green once we get the monthly, open on the monthly. Continuity flips green when we come back through this broad information. So I'm not mad at it. It's going to be very hard for it to come back through this one particularly, but I'm still going to pay attention to it. Potentially to get a reversal back through this range. That was a really strong move. Earnings is also coming up as well. So I want to see that might, I want to see how it's previously reacted to earnings before. Had some gap ups, gap down, no reaction. So that might come back to the previous range. So I'm going to add that just to look, but it's probably going to be one of my least favorites to look at. But it's still inside bar reversal at the bottom of broad information. So it has the potential to set up for weekly and monthly signals to the upside. So I'm just going to keep that on the list. I think for now, that might be everything. 2 and 2 continuations to the upside already. Weekly is already enforced to the upside. Cool. No other actual signals that I see. BR, inside bar. This looks like it's inside though on something. Yep, inside on the quarter. Potentially going to expand that 3-2 expansion to the upside. Potentially monthly. Setting up for a 2-go-3 for July. Weekly setting up for a 2-2 reversal to the upside. Actually, that's not bad. And then daily time frames all setting for the inside bar. I like this. This is actually really, really beautiful. Draw the broad information out for that. I'll just draw it from here. Yeah, this high, this low, come back through the range. So I'm not mad at this. I'm actually going to add this to the list as well. BR is pretty good. This is going to be an inside bar reversal setup. BR, make sure I add that to the list. Centaz is also inside bar reversal as well. All right, this is a pretty good list. Yeah, this is a pretty good list. If I see anything else, I will let you guys know. But this is the list. So for everybody that stuck to the end, you also guys can skip to the end as well if you want to go through this stuff, like what it looks like that I'm looking at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the weekly time frame up, just so you guys can see what we're looking to do going into the week and going into the daily time frame. So this is what we're looking like. Currently, we have General Electric 2-1-2 reversal to the upside, 2-1-2 continuation potentially to the upside on the weekly time frame. RTX, same thing, 2-1-2 reversal to the upside, potential 2-2 continuation on the daily time frame. So look for some inside bars on the 60-minute for RTX. BR 2-1-2 reversal to trigger the 2-2 reversal on the weekly time frame, and Syntas 2-1-2 reversal to potentially go 3-2 reversal on the weekly time frame. Sherman Williams, we have the double inside bar set up to trigger the 2-2 continuation on the weekly time frame. LIN 2-2 reversal on the daily to go 2 up on the weekly time frame. Meta 2-2 reversal already, but I want to see if we could potentially go 2-3 to go 3 on the daily time frame to keep expanding that to the upside, or potentially just keep reversing this thing until we pull back enough and then reverse back to the upside. FCX inside bar continuation to the upside. MLM inside bar continuation to the upside. Waste management 2-1-2 reversal to the upside. I'm actually gonna make sure I add that too. And then Triple M 1-2 rev strat back to the upside to go 2-2 continuation to the upside. So that is everything that I have on the list, and that is also how I scan the market. Particularly if you guys don't have, because I'm paying for the scanner right now. This scanner is $200 a month. Right now, so, and it's doing pretty good and stuff like that to, scan everything. Shout out to, the team. But for those, who, might not be able to financially afford that right now, I just wanted to make sure I just show you guys what it looks like to scan. I already have these pre-built into my trading view. That way I can just kind of pull up the sectors and indices and then pull up the sectors themselves and the stocks that are in them as well. So I can just go through those and scan them myself. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Look for these option setups going into this week, and then I'll also do an update video on how these play out, and then just update you guys. So can't wait to see you guys later. Peace. Let's get it.